When Braun self-proclaimed himself as the GOAT, I think right there was the starting point. Think about the greatest player of all time, it's still LeBron James in my eyes.
What happens when the student calls himself the master while the master is still watching? In the world of basketball, no line causes more division, fire, and noise than the GOAT debate. And LeBron James didn't wait for others to hand him that title. He claimed it for himself. But what did that bold proclamation do to his standing with the man who wore 23 first? According to Kendrick, Perkins, and Stephen A. Smith, LeBron may have pushed Michael Jordan further away the moment he crowned himself. Is that the truth? Or just an unavoidable part of greatness? This episode of NBA Showdown uncovers the real tension behind the crown. Before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a battle of basketball greatness here on NBA Showdown. Kendrick Perkins opens the discussion with a bombshell. The moment LeBron James publicly called himself the greatest of all time may have been the exact moment his bond with Michael Jordan fractured beyond repair. This was not a statement that echoed humility or respect for the legends that came before him. Instead, it was a definitive, unapologetic self-crowning, a move that came off as tone-deaf to a generation that witnessed Jordan dominate an entire era. For a player like MJ, whose entire legacy was built not just on greatness, but on the quiet, unspoken fear he instilled in opponents, hearing a current player boldly say, "I'm the GOAT," might have felt more like a challenge than a compliment. In sports, especially basketball, the crown is rarely taken. It is given by the people, the culture, and time. When LeBron took it before it was handed to him, it created a divide that, according to Perkins, was never healed. In Jordan's world, humility and legacy matter. LeBron, by writing his own chapter without MJ's co-sign, may have unknowingly shut the door on a real relationship between the two.
When Braun self-proclaimed himself as the GOAT, I think right there was the starting point.
Kendrick doubles down on the idea that the entire LeBron versus Jordan debate did not begin with fans or analysts. It started with LeBron himself. It was LeBron who inserted himself into the conversation with a level of finality that erased decades of basketball history. For someone who grew up idolizing Jordan, who wore the same number, and walked into the league with comparisons to a ghost, this decision was not just confident, it was confrontational. According to Perkins, this was a self-inflicted storm. LeBron, knowingly or not, painted a target on his own back, ignited conversations that didn't need to be forced, and made it almost impossible for Jordan to ever embrace him as an equal. Instead of allowing time and performance to organically elevate him into that status, he demanded that recognition early. Now, even Perkins, while still believing in LeBron's GOAT status personally, admits that the damage might already be done. Because the moment you crown yourself, you remove the grace of legacy building. And for Jordan, that likely crossed the line.
And a lot of this, far as Jordan and Braun relationship, is self-inflicted by LeBron.
Despite calling out LeBron for sparking the fire, Kendrick Perkins makes it clear that, in his opinion, LeBron James is the greatest of all time. But he does not shy away from acknowledging that this is a deeply personal choice. For Kendrick, greatness is not just about rings, or finals MVPs, or scoring titles. It's about the totality of what LeBron has brought to the game across 2 decades. He appreciates the versatility, the longevity, the leadership, and the off-court excellence. Yet even in voicing his preference for LeBron, Kendrick admits the debate will never be unanimous. For many, Jordan is the benchmark, the undefeated finals record, the relentless killer instinct, the brand that changed sports forever. Perkins is honest about the fact that this is a matter of taste. But the real takeaway here is not who is greater. It's the tension that comes from having 2 titans whose fans and personalities will always clash. The moment LeBron claimed the throne, he made it impossible to coexist quietly with Jordan's legacy.
Think about the greatest player of all time, it's still LeBron James in my eyes. The debate all day, some people could go with Jordan, some people could go with Braun. Like I told Molly and Stephen A. Before, it's your preference.
Stephen A. Smith enters the conversation with a deeper perspective. He believes this isn't even about whether LeBron and MJ have a friendship. The real issue is why they never built one. LeBron entered the league with the number 23, with media hype branding him the chosen one, and with immediate comparisons to Jordan. That alone made things complicated. But Stephen A. points out that the very idea of someone eventually surpassing Jordan, the one who set the bar, may have made Jordan keep his distance. Legacy in sports is sacred. It is protected. And if someone is seen as the future challenger to your throne, why would you welcome them into your circle? Stephen A. doesn't blame Jordan, nor does he blame LeBron. He simply believes this was a collision that was always going to happen. LeBron was supposed to be next, but the bond never formed. And Jordan, perhaps by choice, stayed out of reach.
Jordan's living his best life, and they're not enemies. But it's not about whether or not they have a relationship or not.
Stephen A. Smith raises a sharp observation that deserves deeper exploration. When LeBron James entered the NBA, he chose to wear the number 23, the number made iconic by Michael Jordan. That decision alone was bold. It was not just a jersey number, it was a statement. It symbolized LeBron's willingness to not only accept the comparisons to Jordan, but to embrace them fully. But, as Stephen A. explains, when you make that choice, the weight of legacy comes with it. And what makes this moment critical is that LeBron did not follow the Jordan blueprint. Jordan built his dominance through the Chicago Bulls with an unmatched mentality of competition, staying the course, battling losses, and finally overcoming all odds without teaming up with other superstars. In contrast, LeBron's path involved a different kind of decision, the infamous move to Miami in 2010, which changed how the modern NBA worked. This was not the path Jordan had carved out. And to Michael, that deviation may have created distance. By embracing the GOAT challenge symbolically with the number 23, LeBron might have signaled to Jordan that he would follow in his footsteps. But the moves he made later, assembling a super team, forming public rivalries, controlling narratives, were never part of Jordan's way. Stephen A.'s implication is clear. LeBron did not seek Jordan's mentorship. He did not walk the same path. And that may have signaled to MJ that LeBron was not trying to follow him but rather replace him. In the world of legacy and greatness, there is a fine line between honoring someone and trying to outshine them. LeBron may have crossed that line without even realizing it. And Jordan, being the fiercely competitive figure he is, likely noticed every step.
You're LeBron James. You came into the league wearing number 23. Now, eventually, it was to be the GOAT and to be supplanted.
Continuing his argument, Stephen A. makes an even deeper claim, that in LeBron's early years, he was not interested in learning from the ones who had already done it. This is important because great players often stand on the shoulders of those who came before them. Jordan learned from Magic, Bird, and Dr. J. Kobe famously studied Jordan's moves frame by frame. But LeBron, for all his talent, came into the league with a fully formed media presence, global expectation, and an inner circle that protected him. Instead of reaching out to MJ or others who understood the pressures of greatness, LeBron chose to build his own lane, independently. That decision may have robbed him of valuable mentorship and respect from legends like Jordan. Stephen A. notes that LeBron proclaimed himself ready for greatness, ready for pressure, ready for the crown. But when things did not work out in Cleveland, rather than staying and grinding it out, he left. While that move worked out for his career, it also solidified a clear contrast between his journey and Jordan's. Jordan never left Chicago. He stuck through brutal playoff defeats. He trusted the process. To MJ and his generation, that kind of loyalty and toughness defined greatness. LeBron, in contrast, appeared to be a brand-first player, a decision-maker, an empire builder, but not necessarily someone looking to learn from those who came before him. This missed opportunity is not about skill or IQ. LeBron has plenty of both. It is about approach. Jordan may have seen in LeBron a player who wanted the rewards of the throne without embracing the struggle that came with earning it in the old-school way. And that difference in mentality, that unwillingness to seek guidance or follow a traditional route, may have caused Jordan to emotionally disengage. Stephen A.'s argument is not that LeBron did anything wrong, just that he missed the chance to do something right. That chance might never come again.
And in those early years, when you have proclaimed yourself to embrace these challenges, but then you couldn't win before departing Cleveland.
As the dust settles on all the heated debate, Stephen A. offers a sobering final thought. This is not about hate. It is about legacy. Stephen respects LeBron. He even ranks him as the second greatest player of all time. And that is no small praise. Being number 2 in a sport with as rich a history as basketball is a towering achievement. But the issue is not whether LeBron is great. It is about how he went about proving it. The self-proclamation, the media control, the different career choices. They all may have contributed to a sense that LeBron was never really trying to earn Jordan's respect. He was trying to bypass it. Despite that, Stephen A. insists that Jordan does not hate LeBron. There is no beef, no animosity, there is only distance. LeBron might admire Jordan, but he did not build a relationship with him. He chose a different way. And for Michael Jordan, who lives by a code of loyalty, hard work, and earned greatness, that different path may have been enough to keep LeBron at arm's length. There is a lesson in that. Greatness alone does not guarantee relationships. Respect must be mutual and nurtured. And when you crown yourself while the king is still watching from his throne, do not be surprised if the king does not applaud.
The opportunities that you had to be a student and to learn and to grow from those who had already done it was something that you didn't appear interested in doing.
LeBron James will always be one of the greatest to ever play the game. That is not in question. But what we explore today is not just about stats or rings. It is about the human side of greatness, the relationships, the decisions, the humility, or the lack of it. Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith laid it out clearly. LeBron's decision to call himself the GOAT may have solidified his standing with fans, but it likely closed the door on something else, a true connection with Michael Jordan. It was not personal, it was symbolic. In the world of legacy, symbolism matters, and as the basketball world continues to debate who is truly the greatest, one thing is for sure. LeBron James may be number 2, but the road to number 1 has always run through Michael Jordan. And LeBron, whether knowingly or not, chose to take the bypass. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another deep dive into the greatest stories the NBA has to offer. Right here on NBA Showdown.